Welcome to Arizona Cards Cast. It's Thursday, August 11, 2012. I'm Drew. It's good to be here with you today, everyone. We're not going to waste any time on these shows. We're just going to get right to the facts. All right. So first off, we're going to talk about the positions of need. As you can see, as we're getting into the first preseason game, you know, not too many big players. Kyler, J.J. Watt, James Conner, probably a lot of these guys we probably won't even see in the preseason. If we do, it's going to be very limited. But the positions of need is something that we need to discuss right now. In my areas, actually, I think the Cardinals are pretty set. They could use some depth still at, you know, tight end, running back. You know, on the offensive line, they have good depth. They can maybe use still a little bit more in the guard position. But on defense is where I'm kind of concerned, especially at corner. You have Marco Wilson and Byron Murphy are the starters, but if you look at the metrics, actually both of them were very underwhelming last year. If you look, you know, PFF, you know, pretty much any advanced metric, you know, passer rating against, Byron Murphy, people forget, had a passer rating of over 100 against him last year. Even though Byron Murphy has some great plays, I actually think Byron Murphy's better in the slot. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone really to replace him on the outside, or anyone in general. The depth is very, very thin. Marco Wilson's been a little bit banged up in the training camp. The Cardinals need to probably get one or two more veterans, I think, at corner, and also the defensive line. And edge rusher, obviously losing Chandler Jones, even though I think Chandler Jones' season last year was a little bit overrated. It was a little bit skewed by that 5-sack game where he made Taylor Lewan his daddy in Week 1. So I would say mainly on defense. I think linebacker, you know, you got to kind of roll the dice at this point. Nick Vigil was a great pickup, by the way, with Simmons and Collins. You know, since they're your first round picks from the last couple of years, you just kind of have to roll the dice with them. I'm not gonna lie, the defense is a little bit concerning, especially with the tough start to the season the Cardinals have. Having to play probably 3 top 10 offenses in the first week in the Rams, Raiders, and Chiefs. It's not going to be easy. But, you know, we'll see what Steve Keim can do, you know, and maybe someone steps up in the preseason that we're not expecting. That's what the great thing about the preseason is. Sometimes someone shines, and that's kind of, you know, I remember Budda Baker in his first preseason was an absolute lightning bolt. We're like, holy crap, this guy's going to be a stud. And guess what? He was. So the big question, obviously, it's the most important player on the team, the most important position. How's Baby Yoda been in training camp? I just want to say, from what I've been reading and hearing, he's been fantastic. He's locked in more than ever, which is exactly what you want to see. You get some of the contract extension. Obviously, the embarrassment of, you know, of Michael Bidwell playing dad, you know. Dad, Tyler, you got to put down the Call of Duty. Come on, you got to watch some tape. You got to prepare, you know, for the Vikings on Sunday. You know, I'll say what I've seen also, Kyler Murray's been the last one out of practice, the first one in the facility every day. He's really showing maybe that he's finally starting to get it. We'll see what happens this season. But I love seeing him sign autographs, you know, an hour and a half after practice. That really means a lot, you know. Obviously, in the age of social media, fans can see that. You see everything. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody's taking a picture. And it's showing that Kyler Murray gives a bleep. And that's really what we need to see this season from Kyler Murray. I think the biggest thing is seeing, obviously, improvement of his development. As I said in the first segment, I am very concerned about the defense this season. Kyler could have a phenomenal season, and the Cardinals could win, you know, 8-9 games because the defense could be really bad. So there's a lot on his shoulders this year, but I want to say, you know, I think I'm pretty excited about K1 in 2022. Hey, Bill, so you guys really sucked yesterday. What do you have to say about that? Around the Cincinnati. So Bill, so Brady threw a pick 6, and, you know, you guys are only 2-2. What are you guys going to do? We're on the Cincinnati. All right. Anyways, this is pretty funny. My wife saw this picture and she's like, he looks way too happy to be Bill Belichick. So sorry. It made me laugh. Anyways, just in case you didn't know, Cards Nation, Bird Game, we have a game actually tomorrow, an actual football game, where the Arizona Cardinals are going to be on the field battling in the sport we love known as football. Anyways, so they're playing the Cincinnati Bengals tomorrow, the former AFC champions. We all know Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, J.J. Watt, Kyler Murray, James Conner, DeAndre Hopkins, anyone who's anyone is not going to even touch the football field tomorrow. They probably won't even suit up. They'll probably be in street clothes, wearing the Cardinals pullover, our Bengals polo, on the sidelines. Anyways, so what are our expectations for the game tomorrow? My main thing is I want to see some players, Greg Dortch, Eno Benjamin, Dennis Gardeck. There's some French players who might make the roster. Obviously, Benjamin, that's my boy, Ezra. Forks up. Leke Fotu. There is a few players, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but my main thing is I want to see some of the young guys and some of the French guys show that they should make this roster, maybe make an impact. A lot of times in the preseason, I know we talk about the preseason, it's stupid football. There's not real football. It is real football, and there's actually a lot of guys who are fighting for their lives just to make the team or to maybe move up on the depth chart. The preseason means a lot to them, and also especially the young guys. I know we don't have a first-round pick, but Trey McBride, even though I know we have Zach Ertz and Max Williams, and McBride probably won't even get much playing time this year, but let's see what he can do. He's a freak athlete. And yeah, I guess that's what we're seeing, for the game. I know you'll be watching if you're a big fan. As I said on my show, we're going to be discussing all sorts of sports topics. It'll be mostly Cardinals centered, especially at the beginning of the program. But as we get towards the back, there'll be other, other things in possibly baseball, basketball, golf, already NFL, college, that maybe I might want to touch base on. My main thing I want to say to Goodell's reaction on Deshaun Watson, I know that's a lot of people are probably still going to say, oh, Goodell's just trying to save face with, the fans, and he doesn't really care about the fans. I don't know if that's true. I don't know Roger Goodell, but I'm saying I'm on Goodell's side on this one. When you're as much of a creep as allegedly Deshaun Watson is, and there's all this, information out there on Deshaun Watson, and you know what? You have to believe the women. When there's, when there's over 20 cases against you on the same subject, you probably did something, right? So, anyways, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. But what I will say is that, as a Cardinals fan and, coming on a Cardinal station, for DeAndre Hopkins, who did do something wrong and broke the rules, but still, for DeAndre Hopkins to get the same amount of games and his suspension as Deshaun Watson is absolutely ludicrous and ridiculous. And obviously, Roger Goodell has to do something about it to save face of the NFL, because come on, this is, ridiculous. So the fact that he said that Deshaun Watson should get at least a year, I agree 100% with you, and I am right there with you, Goodell, on that. I think he should get a full year. I don't think he will because the NFLPA is going to push back. I'm hearing maybe 12 games, which 12 games is still most of the season. You're going to have, Jacoby Brissett has the Browns starter this year. I would recommend Cleveland Brownies to go get Jimmy G, he'd be already 3 times the most handsome man in the city of Cleveland if he goes there. And unfortunately, it does get cold though in the winter, and it does kind of suck, having, him having to probably cover up that beautiful face, on those 10-degree days in December in Cleveland. Just saying. But by then, whatever, Deshaun Watson will probably be back. But yeah, so I'm with Goodell on this. 6 games. It's going to be more than 6 games. Maybe this goes into litigation. I think that it would be smart for the NFLPA to come up with an agreement and not have this drag out. It's terrible PR for the league, and honestly, the Browns kind of already knew this was going to happen, and the way they constructed the Deshaun Watson contract, which is kind of up, I would say. The fact that he's not even going to pay a penalty, even if he does get suspended this season, for the season, he's only going to lose $1 million. I mean, it's it's pretty crooked. A lot of people are mad at the Cleveland Browns. What's new? I mean, the Browns are just a mess, even if Deshaun Watson gets to play at all this season. I'm sure the Browns are going to be 8-9, right where they were last year, just kind of, wasted talent. Kareem Hunt wants out. It, as Zach Galifianakis said, in the campaign, it's a mess. All right. So, on Twitter at Stu Drew, please follow me on Twitter at Stu Drew, and please like and subscribe to this channel. To end this show today, we are going to go over Drew's top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And this is supposed to be up for debate. It's supposed to piss people off. Charger fans are already mad at me Justin Herbert's not overrated, Andrew. He's the 5th best quarterback and the 4th best quarterback. Look at all the historic stats he put up. I didn't give a crap about stats. He's 15-17. He lost to the Raiders in a must-win game, and the Raiders had interim coach and Derek Carr's coach. Like, the Raiders were a mess, and the Chargers lost in a game they had to have to make the playoffs last year. Come on, Herbert. And I know he pulled off a bunch of 4th downs to get to overtime. You still had a chance with the ball down 3 in overtime. You missed Mike Williams on that pass to win the game. Get over it. I think Herbert is a stud, but he is not one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So Charger fans, zip it. You make the playoffs this year, and he's fantastic and is an MVP conversation. I will probably put him in the top 5 starting next season. But right now, top 10, yes. Top 5, no. So I'll just let you know, Charger fans, if you want to turn off the channel right now and not talk to me for, until the end of time, even though I'll probably pick you in a lot of weeks, against the spread. I am fair. I am biased. I do not have, I do not have an agenda. I just call it like I see it. Anyways, so top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Justin Herbert's not on the list. I'm just letting you know. Number 5. And I'll say honorable mention. Sorry, Justin Herbert wasn't even honorable mention. Actually, I'm not even saying honorable mentions. Figure it out for yourself. Anyways, number 5. Yes, Russell Wilson is my 5th best quarterback in the NFL right now. He still had a phenomenal season last year, even for a down year for a Seahawks team that didn't have a defense and lost a lot of close games. If you look at the Drew rating, the Seahawks probably should have won 9 or 10 games even last year. They lost a lot of close games last season, and they also won in a few blowouts. I mean, I know that they killed the Jags and they killed the Lions. They killed some bad teams. They also sad-faced Cardinals. We're not going to talk about Week 18 last year. Anyways, Russell Wilson, he's going to Denver. I mean, really, it was just him and Pete Carroll. The marriage was over. I think that GM John Schneider is going to regret picking Pete Carroll over Russell Wilson. But I think Russell Wilson just wanted a new locale. I think even with Pete Carroll gone, I think Russell Wilson still would have been unhappy in Seattle. But Russell Wilson throws the most beautiful deep ball. Now, I know he is also the most corny quarterback in the NFL. Some of the things, let's ride! Which is, it's just, Russ, stop. Just stop with the corniness. Let's just go play football, get the Broncos back to the playoffs for the first time since 2015. I think you have a realistic shot because you still are one of the best QBs in the game to do that. But no more let's ride. No more let's ride. All right, number 4. Number 4, you can tell the color blue and it's not the Chargers, so you can probably guess. All right. The AFC and NFL favorites this year, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is my number 4 quarterback. Now, Josh Allen has a chance to jump up to 2 or 1 if he does win the Super Bowl and the MVP this year. He might jump up to number 1. Nobody has a higher ceiling than Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's like John Elway on steroids, to be honest, with his ability to, with his legs, his arm. There is nothing that Josh Allen can't do on a football field. The issue with Allen, he's still a little bit inconsistent. I don't know if you remember that game against Atlanta at the end of last year, and I know the weather was a little bit wonky, but he is so bad against one of the worst defenses in the NFL, which honestly the 3 guys below him I can't see playing that poorly in a game against the Falcons. I think Allen, though, there's a good chance he's going to be probably at minimum number 2, probably starting next year, to be honest with you. He's ascending. It was a great draft pick by the Bills. Josh Allen is an absolute superstar. Number 3. Number 3, yeah, this guy is 6 years older than me. But you know what? Sorry, I know. Love your channel, Barry McCockner, and I know that you love to rip on Tom Brady as the most overrated quarterback of all time. The guy's won 7 Super Bowls. Yes, he got lucky against Seattle. Yes, he got lucky against Atlanta. There has been a couple. Even say he got a little lucky against the Rams where he played like dog poop. And their defense stymied Jared Goff for 3 hours. But still, Tom Brady, he still is incredible. I mean, the guy threw 40 touchdown passes. He led the NFL in passing yards last year. Like, he still is just, he's one of the best in the game. And I know that, and also he's also the most cerebral quarterback we have in football. Like, he knows how to get out of bad plays. I know that the knock is he throws a lot of short passes. But the thing is, he's been doing it for 20 years, and he still can't stop him because he's just so smart at the line of scrimmage. Now, could I see Tom Brady dropping this year? I actually am not high on the Bucs this year, just to let you know. I think they'll probably still win the division, just because the division's really bad. Yeah, I mean, I like to say the Saints might take it, but with Jameis Winston's injury, I don't know. Yeah, Brady's old. Brady, honestly, he almost looks like a mannequin at this point. But, you know, talking about, you know, the top 5 quarterbacks, Tom Brady's got to be on the list still. I mean, he's still good. He's still a good quarterback. Number 2, back-to-back MVPs, Aaron Rodgers Poe, as some are saying right now. Aaron Rodgers Poe. Okay, so back-to-back MVPs. Why is he not number 1? He's won MVP back-to-back years. Well, he's been on a fantastic Green Bay team. Kind of played in the division with, you know, the terrible Lions, the terrible Bears, and the always ever underachieving Minnesota Vikings. And to tell you the truth, I mean, he's not number 1, not just because of the division, but also just the fact that in the postseason, Aaron Rodgers is just, I don't know what it is. I mean, last year, that game against the Niners, that game's on Aaron Rodgers. When your team does not allow an offensive touchdown the entire game and you still lose, it's your quarterback, man. Like Aaron Rodgers, he played very tentative, skittish in that game. And I'm knocking him a little bit for his playoff performance the last couple of years. You got to beat San Francisco this year, man. And I know that you were fired up that you beat him in the regular season, but you got to beat him. Got to beat him when it matters. 0-4 against the 49ers in the playoffs. As I said, I get ripped by Packers fans too. But I'm very fair on Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is still incredible. I think that the Packers will still win their division running away this year. I know a lot of people are. I know Cowherd loves the Vikings. I just can't buy the Vikings. And the Vikings will be fine, but I can't buy them. I'll believe it when I see it with the Vikings. I'm tired of jumping on the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Rodgers and that beautiful hair and wife beater, number 2, still one of the best in the game. And number 1, I guess you can guess. He's just the most consistent quarterback in the game. I know sometimes he makes kind of head-scratching plays, behind-the-back passes. But come on. All right. He's been a starter for 4 seasons. He's hosted the AFC Championship game for 4 seasons. The prior 4 seasons with Alex Smith and Andy Reid, and probably just as talented. In fact, a lot of those years, I'd say in 2016, 2017, probably had more talent than any team that Patrick Mahomes has played on. The Chiefs did not host the AFC Championship in any of those seasons. So yes, Patrick Mahomes boy, as Shannon Sharpe would say. Patrick Mahomes boy, Patrick Mahomes. Not trying to take away your, not trying to, you know, I know Shannon Sharpe kind of patented that, so I'm sorry. I'll walk it back. But Mahomes, I know he has the weird family stuff, but still, Mahomes he's the best quarterback in football right now. That's just what I think. Now, do I think Josh Allen could overtake him? Rodgers and Brady, probably not. But Josh Allen could be number 1. Could be. But let's see it this year. Josh Allen was incredible in the playoffs last year, and it showed just how high his ceiling is. But he still lost that game to Mahomes. Mahomes still got him in field goal range in 10 seconds, because they still had 3 seconds to spare, you know, when Butker lined up for that kick. So, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Please, comment below. Talk some smack. I'd love to hear it. You know, if you think Carson Wentz should be on this list, or Baker Mayfield, or Trevor Lawrence, come on, bring it on. Bring it on. Who else you want? You know, Jacoby Brissett, I can't even joke about Deshaun Watson. Anyways, please like and subscribe. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.